What's up, world? Welcome back to the Toker's Den. I'm Lee, and I hope every single one of y'all having a good one today. Man, it is Thursday. It's probably about like 10 o'clock in the morning. Got up feeling really good this morning. Thought I'd go ahead and get a little bit of wake and bake in and talk about a little something. Any point you do like this video, make sure you smash that like button. I hate to say it, but you know, it's all part of that YouTube algorithm. It's cliche, but we gotta say it, peeps. Yeah. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump into this. Take a tote with me and let's go. Let's try to win this game and let's talk about cannabis use disorder. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard about cannabis use disorder. I have never heard about it until I got put in the hospital a couple years ago and was diagnosed with it. I thought it was a crock of bullshit. I'm like, what? Cannabis use disorder? What the f you talking about? But I was also diagnosed with something called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. So if any of y'all have ever heard of cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome or cannabis use disorder, then you already know what we're going to talk about. If you want to stick around and listen to my story, by all means, hang around, smoke up with me. If you haven't heard about cannabis use disorder nor cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, this is going to be your first time for show. Stick around, let's listen to my story, y'all. I'm about to tell, hell, we ain't got to trade our shoes. You ain't gotta walk 1,000 miles in my shoes just to see what it's like to be me. Anyway, peeps, let's go ahead and get this in. So I was admitted involuntarily to a psychiatric hospital ward, 6th floor here in Minnesota at the University of Minnesota. And while I was up in there, they did a bunch of tests on me. Okay, ran a bunch of tests on me and whatnot, and you know, of course, questioned me consecutively. Like, I had to see several doctors throughout the day, went through several tests, several talks and whatnot with these doctors. Okay, and at the end of it, like 2 days before I was supposed to be released from the hospital, one of the doctors sat down with me and started talking to me about my paperwork and what they came up with, you know, diagnosis and whatnot. And two of the diagnoses that I saw in there, of course, I already knew my other ones, which was the bipolar and the borderline and the PTSD and my TBI and all that shit. But two of them that I didn't know about that they diagnosed me with were cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome and cannabis use disorder. And I was looking at the paperwork and I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean cannabis use disorder? What the hell is that? I don't have cannabis use disorder, nigga. I just like to smoke weed. It helps me. It helps with my depression. Whereas all these pills that y'all give me fucking sometimes exacerbates my suicidal thoughts. Sometimes the pills y'all give me just knock a motherfucker out and puts me to sleep, and then I can't do nothing. Or I'm walking around like a zombie on Seroquel and haloperidol and shit. Or Thorazine out to where I'm just doing the Thorazine shuffle, drooling out my mouth. I'm like, no, I don't want to live like that. Weed helps me. So I smoke a lot of weed. And they didn't like that. The doctors was like, no, you need to be taking the pills. We don't want you smoking weed. Weed. It does all this. It makes it worse. I didn't want to hear it. I was like, man, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say. Weed does not make it worse. It helps me. I don't get more depressed. I don't go through any of this shit that you guys are talking about. Shut up. Get me up out of this hospital, man, so I can go home and smoke some more weed. So, yeah, they released me, man. I got home, started back smoking. Heavy. Okay, because I'd been in the hospital for like a week and some change. So I was smoking heavy, yo, making up for lost time. Next thing you know, I do what someone calls greening out. I started puking and everything. I never understood what greening out is because I've had it before, you know, where I smoked so much I started puking. So after that happened, something clicked in my head and I was like, okay, I'm about to go do some research on this one more time on cannabis use disorder and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. And once I started doing actual research and I set my fucking thoughts aside, my negative thoughts aside against cannabis and thinking that cannabis is like the #1 thing and it's the fucking bee's knees and there's no harm that can be done to you for it. Once I set that thinking aside and actually looked at the data concerning cannabis use disorder and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, I fit the bill. I fit the bill. I do have cannabis use disorder and I do have cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. Why? I'll tell you why. I smoke weed like a motherfucker. I smoke weed from sun up to sundown. I can go through, and I'm not saying this to be bragging because it is sad that I have to do this. I wish I didn't have to smoke this much weed to get my mind in a good frame so I'm not fucking feeling psychotic and homicidal or suicidal or wanting to hurt myself or snapping on people at the fucking drop of a hat. Okay? So, I hear somebody. Or is that my feet? I thought I heard somebody. So, yes, I did hear somebody. Oh, he got me. Jeez, he got me right around the corner with that shotgun. So I would be smoking, yo. Lace the motherfucking shits up with some good. Some keef. I don't care. I call it lacing it up. Lacing it up with some keef, some oil. Going hard, yo. I started puking. And I'm like, man, here we go again. I'm getting sick. So me puking, I'm thinking, you know, it's just my brain injury and the stress. Because, you know, from my brain injury, I can puke. I get that a lot. If I get too stressed out, I'll start puking. Okay, so I was thinking, you know, hey, it's the stress. You know, I'm stressing out about stuff because I need to get back to work. I need to make this money and all these things. Got my YouTube I got to get back into. I feel like I'm letting my people down. Had all these things going on in my head. So I smoked heavy, started puking. And I'm like, yo, it's the stress. So I'm going to smoke some more. Not knowing that me smoking more is making it worse, making me more sick, making me want to puke more, making me lose weight because I'm puking and I can't keep any food on, thinking that weed's gonna make me hungry, but it doesn't. It just makes me not have hunger. It actually recesses my hunger, okay, to where I don't want to eat and I just want to smoke more, thinking it's gonna make me eat, and I just start puking, and it's a vicious cycle. So once I figured that out, I was like, damn, dude, I do have cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. I really do. I get sick from this shit. The only thing that helps me is when I go take a really hot shower and I let my thermal regulator inside of my brain, it kind of like resets and I'm able to stop puking. Because, yo, I'll be puking hard, yo. It's like I can't stop puking. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm about to die. Why isn't the weed helping me? When all along, the weed was what was making it worse. Okay, people can say what the fuck they want to about marijuana and it being all this, but I'm gonna sit here and tell you right now, it can affect you in a negative way. Okay, and you can smoke it all the time thinking that it's helping you, when sometimes it is helping you, but other times it can harm you. Cannabis can harm you, yo, like dead ass. It can cause you a lot of health problems. Like, it really can. It can cause you kidney problems. There's all kinds of problems that cannabis can cause you if you are using it like really heavily, like I do. And I do smoke heavily. I'm not a moderate smoker. It's just not who I am. And I just can't moderately smoke because my tolerance level is way too high for me to moderately smoke. So when I go smoking, I smoke. And I smoke. And I smoke like a motherfucking chimney. So yes, I do have cannabis use disorder. I will continue to smoke even when I know it is harming my body. I'll smoke it. I'll fire a joint up. I'll fucking smoke a hell of a bowl and smoke lots of bongs back to back, yo, blowing smoke everywhere, knowing it's gonna make me sick. Now I do. I know it is, but I don't give a fuck because the weed makes me feel better, and I'd rather feel better mentally than, you know, be running around with a fucking fucked up mental state of mind and my stomach be okay. I'd rather just have my mental state of mind be good and me just have to deal with a little bit of tummy issues every now and again. You know? That's cannabis use disorder. I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna smoke it. I'm still gonna smoke it. Okay? So, I've been dealing with this for years, y'all. I've been dealing with this for like the last couple of years. And I'm not gonna stop smoking weed. I don't care. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna smoke it till the day that I die, and that's just gonna be the way it is, y'all. Where's this dude at? Get my revenge kill, nigga. Come here. Oh, you serious? Come on, I got hit by a harpoon gun, dude. Today's just not my day for Fortnite, yo. We're getting hammed up. My goodness. Anyway, peace. I just wanted to talk about that, yo. Cannabis use disorder is something real. Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome is real. Okay? So we're gonna get the fuck up out of here. Much love, peeps. I hope you have a good one. Yeah, you already know what I'm about to go do. I'm about to go smoke some more weed. Oh yeah. Other than that, peeps, y'all have a good one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Much love, y'all.